root is like a G type chord, and he'll go, and then it's like almost like bluegrassy, but it's weird. Like his scale that he goes to like makes you think he's on the 5.
We had an author here, Elijah Wald, who wrote one of the books about Johnson. And he said Johnson, just like anybody that would have been out making their living as a musician, they would have played every type of music that was popular, right? Because they go out on the street and they're competing with each other, you know, for audience and that sort of thing. So they're gonna play whatever they can draw the audience with, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you don't play just blues, right?
Well, it would be pretty soul crushing to just like go out there on the street just for some tips to go. Alright, so we're at 508 Park Avenue, and we're here with Pat. Pat, what do you do here?
Well, I'm the executive director in charge of the project, and will be running the building and the community garden and the band shell here when we're all done raising money and get the building all re-outfitted.
We're here because some pretty incredible recordings were made here by Robert Johnson.
Not only would Johnson record here, but there was a lot of other folks here. The American Record Corp made 843 recordings in this building between 1935 and 1939. The first recordings were done in 1935 in the back of our warehouse here.
This was where it would have happened.
This is where Johnson would have sat. He would have been with that microphone in the box that day. And, help me now. Was that June 19th of 37?
June 37, yeah, and then 19th.
Yeah, 19th and 20th.
Yeah.
That same day, it was interesting. The Light Crust Doughboys recorded one of those days, and there's an interesting story that Marvin Montgomery, who went by Smokey, he was the banjo player for the Light Crust Doughboys, said he remembers passing a black man in the stairwell with a guitar case.
Right.
And of course, he said that everybody used to always ask him about, well, did you talk to him? Did you talk to him? And he's like, well, I probably would have if I known he was going to get so damn famous.
Right, yeah, that was...
But nobody knew. You know,
Yeah.
Johnson was kind of a nobody from Mississippi, but...
If your man gets personal, want you to have your fun. If your man gets personal, want you to have your fun. You can go back to Fast Pony, Bear House all night long. I got women's in Vicksburg, down to Tennessee. I got women in Vicksburg, clean on to Tennessee. That rider in Fast Point hops all over me. Ain't gonna state no color, but front teeth are crowned with gold. Ain't gonna state no color, but front teeth are crowned with gold. Well, she got a mortgage on my body and a lien on my soul. take my rider by my side. I'm going back to Rosedale, take my rider by my side. We can still build a house, baby, on the riverside. I want you to squeeze my lemon till the juice run down my lemon. Won't you squeeze my lemon till the juice run down my leg? I'm heading back to Fast 45, be rocking through my head.
Operating up here. We found this, where it says Decca scrap case number and Broken Scrap Records. There's a date of June 3rd, 1947. And so I was just looking around trying to figure out, well, you know, what this story here. And so I peeled back this baseboard down here, and there was all these shards of 78 records.
Oh my gosh.
But one of the curious things was there weren't any pieces of label.
Huh.
It was just the black part.
Huh.
And so what I think they were doing was, and you see all these marks, these divots in the wall? They were I think they were frisbeeing them in here to break them up if they were cracked when they came in. And then they'd fish all the labels out and just send the labels back because the records were really heavy.
Right.
So if you sent the label back, then they could get credit for it.
Yeah.
And you'd make a scrap case number, and then somebody would just shovel all the black stuff up and throw it away. But you know those guys were warehouse workers, right?
Yeah.
They were having the time of their life. Frisbee and records here into the corner. Original cat, brass cage.
It's like,
So that's the projection room. And this was the theater. Originally it didn't have any windows in it, but it was a screening room. There was actually a record player on each projector. So you had to sync the record to the film, and then the film to cut over again. So you might have multiple reels of film, multiple records.
and we'll whine about like splicing this together.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is so hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi here is so
It's
slow.
so slow.
It smells like the most delicious cookies.
Yeah, that's the Heinz Net Company
Oh my god.
over here. Yeah, so First National was a sister studio to Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers purchased Vitagraph back in, I think, 1926. Vitaphone were the talkie movies that Vitagraph made.
Welcome to the horror section of the documentary. Oh,
Whoa.
Yeah, you hear the decay on that? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Each one of those floor drains was one of the film vaults. So that was if the films caught fire, which silver nitrate film was fairly flammable. It could spontaneously combust if you got too much of it in the pile. So they had these different film vaults up here, and if the fire department had to show up and put a bunch of water on it, that's what the floor drain was for.
Wow.
There was a hillbilly band out of San Antonio called the Night Owls, and they actually covered one of Black Boy Shine's tunes, which Black Boy Shine was another black artist. He was a blues piano player from Houston.
But he might have washed his hands in the laboratory right there.
That recorded both down in San Antonio and here as well. And they covered one of his tunes.
Collaboration,
Yeah,
I love it.
there was collaboration going on between white musicians and black musicians, even back in 1936.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's strange too, like with those recordings being done, they didn't even hit like the public as vastly as Robert Johnson is known now until like the 60s, right?
Right, yeah.
Like it kind of had like this revivalist type thing going on with the blues and everything. You know, the Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin and all those amazing bands would go on and cover these songs.
Right.
And just a really cool thing to see mainstream people turn people on to, you know, turn America on to this music, because, you know, for probably a segregated time, they dismissed black records or something like that.
Yeah, they refer to them as race records.
Right.
And there was a fairly limited audience. From what I understand, Johnson had some regional success, but he was not real well known in his day.
Yeah.
He was, I don't know if you know, John Hammond Sr. had scheduled a show to occur at Carnegie Hall in New York.
Yeah.
Johnson was supposed to appear there about 9 months after he recorded him. And I think a day or two before the show, he received word that Johnson had died, you know, several months earlier in Mississippi. Supposedly, Hammond walked out on stage and played a Johnson record during that because he thought Johnson would have been that important to American folk music, that he still needed to be heard by the audience that night. That's just an amazing story to think about that, and then you fast forward all those years to 1961 when they Frank Driggs and others worked on compiling all that music and putting that King of the Delta Blues.
King of the Delta Blues.
And that's when Dylan got a copy, and folks overseas started hearing it, and people were like, wow, what is this? And it was Johnson speaking from the grave.
Side of my echoey kitchen.
Cool. You know?
Yeah.
And it really spoke. It's the first time I heard it, it spoke to me. Yeah, I totally get it.
Just the impact and the importance of it. Just like hearing Hank Williams or, you know, I feel like Hank and Robert Johnson are just like, those are the bricks and foundation of everything. If Robert was using the restroom down here, that would not be a pleasant.
No, not if the film exchange caught fire.
I stood out here with my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, in 1994, out in front of the building, and it was vacant at the time. And I told her, I said, you know, Dallas has not had a good history with preservation, and we're going to lose this building. I'm just really afraid we're going to lose this building.
So you snatched it.
I didn't. Actually, the Stew Pod snatched the building up 4 years ago, and the Stew Pod is an local outreach mission of First Presbyterian Church. We've become members of the church, and I'd overheard one day that the Stew Pod had bought 508 Park. Wow. So I found the people at the Stew Pod that had, you know, orchestrated that, and I went to them and said, guys, do you know what you've got?
Right.
You know, because I knew about the Johnson thing, but I didn't know any of this other history at the time. And anyway, so I convinced them to let me on the committee, and we started doing research, and it just all started pouring out of this corner or that corner. And, the thing that we've really done here has been able to piece together the blues history and the Western swing history, the Warner Brother business history, and the architectural history, and it's really helped us learn how to tell the story of what really happened here.
These are all done here?
Yeah.
Listen to all
I
these.
haven't heard these.
It doesn't even really sound like Western swing. It's jazz. It's just straight jazz.
They were just doing it in Texas.
Yeah. On hillbilly instruments.
Yeah.
So that's Al Strickland on piano. You can hear it's back from the microphone.
How many mics would record with this?
One. The only mix you can do is if you step to or from the microphone. So if you had a solo, the singer had to get out of the way and you had to go to the microphone. So it was all choreographed. I feel incredibly fortunate to be a part of this project, and just feel like that we've really got to get this right.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having us. Like it has been totally surreal in the best way, being in this room. Well, I followed her to the station, the suitcase in my hand. Well, I followed her to the station, the suitcase in my hand. Well, it's hard to tell when all your love's in vain, all my love's in vain. When the train rode up to the station, I looked her in the eye. When the train rode up to the station, I looked her in the eye. Well, I felt so blue, so lonesome, I could not help but cry. All my love's in vain. When the train left the station with two lights on behind. When the train left the station, it had two lights on behind. Well, the blue light was my blues, the red light was my mind. All my love's in vain. Willie Mae. All my love's in vain.
Have you seen either of those Robert Johnson documentaries? There's a spot in one or both of them where they find Willie Mae, and they said, "Oh, well, you know, Robert wrote a song." Mentioned she had no idea. You know, he just like vanished out of the park.
Right. He wasn't even popular when he first came out.
Yeah, and so they played this. They played "Love and Venom."
Yeah.
And she's sitting there listening, and you can just see it just transport, back to the 30s. And when he goes, Willie Mae, man, she just has this look in her eye like, you think she's about to cry. I mean, you want to cry watching it, because it's just so sweet. Just the look on her face, thinking back about, whatever times those two had together.
And he probably sang it and probably never saw her again,
Yeah,
It's like, and you hear that.
yeah.
It hurts.
It's really something
Yeah.
to watch. You need to see it sometime, because
Yeah.
it will change the way you feel about that song.
Let us know what's happening in the future for 508 Park.
Well, there's a lot of good things happening. We're going to continue to work real closely with the Stew Pod and with First Presbyterian Church. We're a nonprofit, and we're here to help serve the community. And what we're trying to do is this is kind of the last corner of Dallas to be redeveloped, and
Right.
we'd like to see it get built up without getting overly gentrified.
Right.
We'd still like to, the Stew Pot would still like to be here providing services to the community, both homeless and at risk, as well as, but we want to do some programming for the neighborhood as well. I mean, we're going to have concerts out here in our outdoor amphitheater. We've already launched a community garden that we have local residents out here. Yeah, it's really nice. We're going to bring the Stew Pot's homeless art program across the street here and give them a lot more space to work in.
They sold, I think, about 10 paintings on Saturday.
Oh.
It's nice.
And does it go to benefit them, or do they give it to
The Stew
the...
Pot artists keep 90% of the proceeds, and 10% goes back into the program for supplies.
Wow.
Have them work in a creative space. So the great thing about this building is it's going to have a second creative life here for both art and music. We're going to have a recording studio here where we'll have both digital, and we're going to be able to cut 78 masters the same way they did back in the 1930s. So we're going to have you back.
Oh man.
To cut a 78 record.
Yes.
And do it the old school way.
Put that on the calendar right now.
Well, I think the reason that we want to do the project the way we're doing it, to include everybody that's here in the neighborhood, including the homeless, is we're all one step away from being out on the street. I've heard too many stories in the studio over the last 3 years. A lot of people say that Johnson, if he hadn't had his musical talent, he might have been homeless, because the community that his wife had been part of before she died, shunned him for playing the kind of music that he did. And he was, he might have been out on the street under a bridge otherwise. But this can happen to any of us. And it's important that we all reach out and help each other. I believe that's why we're all here together on Earth, is that we're all here to help each other.
Hey guys, Cameron Smith here, creator of the Teardrop Project. Thanks for checking out the Robert Johnson episode. This was the first and longest full-length episode that we've ever done of the Teardrop Project. So if you guys like this episode and want to see us do more longer episodes, let us know in the comments. Give us a like on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. And if you really want a lot of really cool special features, like a full commentary with Matt Tedder and I, so the full songs, MP3s of the songs, the full interview with Matt and Pat, become a patron for as little as $1. You'll get that and all sorts of goodies for all the other episodes. So check that out at patreon.com/Teardrop Project. If you want to make a one-time donation, you can do that at our website, theteardropproject.com. So thanks for all your support. Every little bit helps. It keeps us on the road and helps us tell more stories that are all out there waiting to be told. Thanks so much.